So I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that your initiative gets everything you asked for, but nothing you wanted.
Why did you do such a thing?
Previously on Stop Killing Games. Pirate killing video games is evil. From my point of view, the gamers are evil. Well, then you are high. I thought your initiative had failed and died.
Die? No. Became stronger. Yes.
It's over, pirate. We have the signatures. You underestimate my ego. Don't double down. And now, for the thrilling second entry. We stopped killing games, but what now?
Ladies and gentlemen, hold those fists high, drop a salute in chat, turn on my favorite freedom tune, and listen up. We stopped killing games. But what now? Can our heroes take the fight to Parliament? Can we enact sweeping legislative changes that ensure that gamers across the world own the things they buy? Find out in the next
20 minutes or so. Yeah, probably. Because of your tireless efforts and many, many others, we have all spread a ton of awareness for the Stop Killing Games initiative, and it has amassed over 1.3 million signatures. God bless democracy. Democracy prevails once more. Let's see if we can get this video to get 1.3 million likes. Go ahead and hit that like button.
Do people like me?
We have all done our part, and I could not be more proud of all of you. As a quick reminder, Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement to make sure people own the products they buy. I know, it's complicated stuff. It's about as complicated as rocket science or figuring out how to talk to a woman. But the simplest way to explain it is that this is a movement that truly is black and white. There is very little gray here. You are either pro-consumer or you're pro, yes, I want corporations to be able to revoke access to the things I buy. And it's hard to spin that. It's hard to spin that angle. Now, once again, I don't want this video to just be about drama regarding Mr. Software.
Eat my entire ass.
All in due time. Thank God for Helldivers 2, the true 2023 game of the year. Look at how our training has paid off. These numbers just came in fresh off the press. Our top signature earners, based on percentage and quota for that country, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Finland. Finland! In second place, the Swedes. In third place are my people, the Dutch. Yeah, let's go white people. Probably just cut that, huh? And who could forget the high octane efficiency of the Germans, who brought in the most amount of signatures at over 270,000. What can you say? The Nordic people love their video games, and I don't blame them. The rest of you, drop a comment, say what country you're from, and if you signed the initiative or not. I think we need to give out medals, okay? Also, the UK petition received over 180,000 signatures, just 12 days before the cutoff. And you know what? I don't care how controversial it is for me to say this as an American, all right? Shout out the Redcoats, man. Scotland forever! You know what? Yes, I'll have some beans. Thank you.
She made fucking beans. What the fuck?
It's important to highlight just how impressive of a grassroots movement this has become. How we all came together and managed to pull off this incredible upset win. This must be how Eli Manning feels every single day. So pat yourselves on the back, suck your own cock if you got one. You've earned it.
The battle is over. We have won.
If you really want to visualize the success, thanks to Reddit user Balanlon, hell yeah, we're gonna stop killing games. Let's go. Yeah, keep the momentum up with, what's happening? Anybody? Hello? Help? Is anybody coming? Are we fucked? I guess this is the end. Fuck, no it isn't. We're so back. That's the journey right there. That has been the journey. This is the Streisand effect visualized, because we could not have done this without everyone's favorite scurvy dog, Pirate Software, who, whether he intended to or not, became the villain we all needed. He became the face of the opposition to something that benefits us all. And of course, the biggest thanks especially go to Ross from Accursed Farms, who made all of this possible with his tireless efforts. I hope one day he may rest. He truly might be the Bob Ross of gaming content creators.
People call me the Bob Ross of programming.
So there's 3 parts to this story: where the initiative goes from here, and what steps we take to secure our rights. There's the corporate side of things, who has rapidly responded. That's a great sign, by the way, because a lot of these corporations, and what we'll be getting into later, it tells me
it's afraid. It's afraid!
I think a lot of video game publishers are scared shitless by the momentum thrown behind Stop Killing Games. Remember, Ubisoft is in the middle of a lawsuit for shutting down The Crew, and a bunch of other companies have updated their EULAs, and I just remembered that apparently Anthem servers are still running because EA wants to shut them down now. A lot of shit happening. But you know what? I think it's that time again. Everyone put on your silly pirate hat. By the way, this hat is from an old Gangplank cosplay I bought before his visual rework. Yes, I am single. Hey-yo, ho, ho, and a bottle of ego. I think it's time we check in with Mr. Software. Pirate, how you feeling today? How you been holding up?
I hope that your initiative gets everything you asked for, but nothing you wanted.
Why would you say such a thing? Such pettiness will mean nothing. Your path is set. By talking more shit, you are merely giving content to your haters. Okay, I can understand crashing out as a content creator, you know. Sometimes you feel like you have to tell people to go fuck themselves, right? There are days where you just want to crash out. But the way he crashes out, it's so entertaining. He truly sounds like a villain.
Put up a video saying you were wrong with every situation and the internet move on. I am not doing that. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, simply bend the knee and lie about how you feel and everyone will stop bullying you. That's a great idea, dude. Yeah, no, eat shit.
If you had traveled far enough, rather than waiting for the echo to reach you, perhaps you would have seen it for what it was.
Pirate, man, had you just corrected yourself once people were pointing out that you misinterpreted the movement? Had you acknowledged what Stop Killing Games was really about earlier, rather than waiting 10 months to be hit with all this backlash? Perhaps you would have seen the situation for what it was, and avoided all this unnecessary pain you've brought upon yourself. Dude is absolutely getting dogged across every corner of the internet, but this is the path he's chosen, and I cannot fathom why. Now, I don't mean to kick a matey when he's down. Make him walk the plank. I wouldn't wish scurvy upon the lad. I don't necessarily want to make fun of Pirate Software. I feel like he's getting enough shit as it is. But you want my honest opinion of the guy? I think he just needs to learn how to apologize and mean it. You would not believe how positive people react when you sacrifice your ego to just own a mistake and apologize for it. Essentially, that's all it would have taken for this entire ordeal to go away. And now he's lost over like 100,000 subs, which is just crazy amounts of backlash. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you're hot and sexy, only hot and sexy people can subscribe. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. I mean, listen to him talk about all the crazy shit that's been happening to him. Jarvis, roll the clip.
In the middle of the stream, about 9 a.m., I got a bunch of phone calls to my phone. They left a bunch of voicemails of shit saying, your time has come, in like a giant screeching voice, and then we got swatted. But at the same time, it's like, I don't give a fuck about your initiative because your people are unhinged. And I realize that's not everybody that's part of that, but I don't give a shit, dude. Like, I'm out. Have fun. Good luck.
This is what confuses me. Like, the fact that he's dealing with all of this, but he still isn't willing to admit any fault to anything? At what point do you realize what your ego is costing you? What the price for it is? I don't know. I think there really is something wrong with a person who views their ego and their status as the most important item in the world. It's not, and it never is. So we're gonna make fun of Mr. Software, but we're not gonna try to make his life worse. With all that out of the way, how are you feeling, Mr. Software?
I do think that there are some people that get misled by that stuff, and they get wrapped up in an emotional thing. The best thing that I can equate it to is Coney 2012.
Dear God. The man is comparing Stop Killing Games to Coney 2012.
What the fuck is with this guy?
this turned into like such like an internet zeitgeist thing where like everyone just like lost their mind. They're like, I gotta kill Coney, gotta kill Joseph Coney. They bought like stickers, they liked things on social media. It was like a big slacktivism movement.
And essentially calling them both slacktivism. Well, we actually accomplished something, okay? I don't know what the fuck Coney 2012 ended with. Nobody's even talked about that as far as I'm concerned for like a decade. Is that why you're comparing Stop Killing Games to Coney 2012? Because you think they're gonna end the same way? Nothing actually happens. The whole movement falls apart and the guy behind it ends up like masturbating in a public street after doing a bunch of acid or whatever the fuck that guy did. He just keeps doubling down.
Twice the pride, double the fall.
There have been multiple videos exposing Pirate's claims of working for Blizzard.
I was watching a video that was critiquing you for mentioning you work at Blizzard so much. I literally never talk about it. When I worked at Blizzard, I did that for Blizzard. Blizzard, 7 years, yeah. Blizzard. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment.
Those are titles, words you cling to as the darkness falls around you.
One of them even pointed out that his dad didn't just work at Blizzard. His dad was the lead director of cinematics at Blizzard. The guy who created some of the greatest video game cutscenes in the world. Like that guy. So he got in through nepotism, not through, like, credentials. Now, some people have taken a second long, hard look at the code for his game Heartbound, and they've utterly dismantled it. Slop News Network and Coding Jesus have both produced multiple excellent videos. One of my favorite ironic twists was Pirate claiming, get this, that his software was unpiratable.
This is actually the save file for the character, so you can't pirate it because you can never use the achievements. It made it unpiratable, which is deeply hilarious.
And within a day, somebody had pirated it.
I was curious how long it took for the game with the unpiratable DRM to be cracked after it was released, and this is what I found. 1 day and 17 hours after the game was released on Steam, there was already a home rip floating around.
Once again, shout out the writers of this season's Life on Earth. I don't know how they keep coming up with this stuff. Watching this guy is like the equivalent of watching a train crash. Except every cart is a dumpster on fire. How do you expect me to look away from that?
Eat my entire ass.
Now, in the process of breaking down his awful code, these YouTubers have also broken down his persona.
I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting, when in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
That is the problem right there.
Yeah.
That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. I don't see it that way, but all right.
Oh, brother!
And watching these videos, it felt like they were going through the wreckage of a car crash, and it was all just dust. Like, there were no pieces of a car in sight. Nothing to indicate a vehicle had collided with something. Just as there is no real credible evidence of any claims Pirate Software has made about his credentials over the years.
Just dust and echoes.
For instance, Pirate claims to be a game developer of like 8 or 20 years, yet he has little to no publicly available code or projects on his GitHub account. GitHub is basically, as I understand it, a forum for designers, developers, and coders to share their work. Look at me, I'm a prospective employee seeking employment in the field of computer programming. Here is my work, so you can see what I have produced. It would be like if I claimed to be like an editor on some big major Hollywood films, and I just had like one video on my YouTube channel. Like, why would you listen to me? So this guy Coding Jesus has been doing some deep dives into Pirate's code itself. I am not fluid in this language, but I will say I'm glad Jesus is back to help us understand the world we live in. Now, he basically describes Pirate's code as far below the expectations for an entry-level intern. Someone just out of college looking to gain experience from the industry, not necessarily a paycheck. And that's a crazy description, because nobody would have cared or bothered to look into any of this had he just apologized for abandoning his team in World of Warcraft. like World of Warcraft is ground zero for everything. I mean, beyond that, Pirate also had a private conversation with Moist Critical, and then he leaks the DMs. I can tell you, you shouldn't do that unless you have a very good reason. Most times, it's not a good reason. I mean, this guy has just checked every box in the like, oh yeah, a shitty content creator would do exactly that. It's truly remarkable how, in addition to all this stuff, we also have the aforementioned copyright abuse.
There was a dude earlier today that went onto Reddit and said that he was using my voice in a video game, showed a bunch of videos of it, and then put that game up on Steam. We're going to take you to court. You're going to lose. You cannot use somebody's likeness or voice in any way inside of your games without their permission. Welcome to the Finding Out timeline, bud.
2 seconds later.
The game is back up on Steam. Looks like the DMCA has been removed.
It feels like this guy hates video games secretly. I really don't envy Pirate Software because I don't wish to contribute to Pirate's suffering, but he makes it way too easy to dunk on him. People love watching this guy get shit-talked. I think the sheer amount of content people are producing and the viewership it's getting really goes to show how he has mastered this truly unlikable persona. So it's not what he's done that's causing all of this flack, it's how he responds to everything. They're making I worked at Blizzard compilation videos. Oh boy.
Blizzard is having worked at Blizzard. Blizzard. I grew up at Blizzard.
It is never a good sign when your own content can be spliced and edited against you like this. This guy is a walking meme. Pirate, your thoughts on Ross and his Stop Killing Games initiative?
You also didn't want to talk to Ross? I didn't. I didn't like the way that he was approaching the situation. I was very clear about that. His community went on the offensive and tried to do underhanded tactics, and his response to it was also not stellar. Not a fan of it. So because of that, I didn't want to have a conversation with him. I said, I don't like this for these reasons. Take it or leave it. Like, that's how that works. If you're a dick, I'm not going to talk to you.
He has brought truth, and you condemn it. The arrogance.
They found out Pirate Software used to sell like furry avatars under the screen name Maldavius Fig Tree. You can't make this stuff up. Greetings, Maldavius. Pirate Software steps down from Off-Brand Games and Ludwig responds. I am no longer at Off-Brand Games. People were attacking all of the games we were publishing and trying to mass review bomb them. You can dislike the things I say, but this kind of behavior is unhinged. I am the victim. Why should my actions have consequences on me?
I hope that your initiative gets everything you asked for, but nothing you wanted.
This is the most smug way to say, fuck you, I've ever heard. This guy's a dick. Look at this one. Pirate Software banning a chatter who stated that one of the ferrets in his rescue died due to lack of mana.
I want to wait to see how long it takes Twitch to ban this person permanently. Yeah, I reported already, Jake.
What is this guy's job? Is his job to ban people he doesn't like? I feel like every clip of him is just like, oh yeah, you're banned. You're banned. This is the Discord moderator final boss.
So they're trying to mix the World of Warcraft drama shit and say that one of the ferrets that died at our rescue, because she died of a very rare cancer, died of being out of mana, because they're a fucking awful human being. That is why we ban people in this chat.
He shows the message. What? I feel bad for laughing at it, but it's like moral grandstanding, man. But the joke is, it's funny because it's fucked up and it's getting under your skin. Don't feed the trolls.
To try and use that as a jab because you don't like someone on the internet, like, you're a fucking awful human being. There's no real coming back from that either. Like, putting that kind of hate out into the world.
You're making it so much worse. There's no coming back from that. You have fallen to the dark side. I reviewed Pirate Software's always online DRM in a single-player game and got banned from its Steam hub. The L's just don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop. I think that's enough pirating for me, though. Let's get back to the games, all right? EA is shutting down Anthem servers, which were still up. You notice something about this? This is written on July 3rd. That's like the same day Stop Killing Games hit over 1 million signatures.
But as one trained in the Force, you know that true coincidences are rare.
It's shocking the servers lasted this long. After careful consideration, we will be sunsetting Anthem on January 12th. That means that the game will still be playable for the next 180 days. The announcement of Anthem servers shutting down comes as a surprise, especially considering EA and BioWare effectively gave up on the title a few years ago when it canceled its previously announced redesign. Yeah, so basically they're like, well, shit, better kill it now. This, by the way, is an incredibly good sign that the movement is shifting the table. We're stacking the chips on our side, and they're stacking their chips on theirs. They're prepared for a battle, and companies like EA are going to do everything they can to minimize the damage that this movement will have. But honestly, Anthem did have a ton of potential. I mean, most folk got really hyped with those initial trailers, and clearly something about it spoke to gamers. It fulfilled this kind of Iron Man fantasy, but the novelty wore off really, really quickly. And it had a ton of issues that were just never fixed. Remember when EA fixed another game? Or I should say DICE. Remember when DICE fixed that one game that we just made a video on talking about its redemption? You should have tried. What else? Ubisoft wants gamers to destroy all copies of a game once it goes offline. What a headline. Ubisoft has updated its EULA to avoid potential legal issues by discontinuing support for its games. Shocking how all this is happening around kind of the same time. The EULA End User License Agreement now states that the company reserves the right to stop supporting a game at any time for any reason. Jesus. Ubisoft, a company once known for its great games, has received nothing but criticism from its fans. The company has hit rock bottom, but the thing is, there is no rock bottom, and it continues to fall deep into the abyss until it becomes bankrupt. Jesus. Holy shit. Obey your ramen is spitting. He's writing facts right now. Why it matters? The company has fallen so low that it wants to avoid any legal consequences by terminating users' access to products, which it aims to do sooner for many legacy titles. Look at this blurb from their EULA. You and Ubisoft may terminate this EULA at any time for any reason. This EULA will terminate automatically if you fail to comply with any of the terms and conditions of it. Upon termination for any reason, you must immediately uninstall the product and destroy all copies of it in your possession. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your mind? What? Is that that's a real quote? When I'm in a can't possibly ruin my reputation anymore competition and my opponent is Ubisoft, this is why we need to bring back worst company in the world award. Ubisoft literally saw all the hate Pirate was getting and thought, these gamers deserve a better class of criminal, and I'm gonna give it to them. But that's not all. We have actually seen members of government from across the EU openly come out and support Stop Killing Games. We got a man on the inside. But there's one last piece we have to look at. This is our true opposition. This coalition, Video Games Europe, is very opposed to Stop Killing Games. In fact, they consist of a lobby of a variety of different corporations. You can probably guess who's on this list. EA? Yup. Ubisoft? You better believe it. And this is their response. We appreciate the passion of our community. However, the decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, never taken lightly, and must be an option for companies when an online experience is no longer commercially viable. Guys, if we pull the plug, just get over it, you fucking bitch. We shouldn't even have to guarantee the bare minimum for you. Imagine if they had a way to make old cartridges just short circuit after a period of time. For like your N64, your Atari, or whatever. Imagine if like Activision and EA did that type of shit. In their current form, they would do it if they could. And you know why they're trying to kill all these old games? Because those are the ones we're playing.
This is impossible!
According to a study reported on in PC Gamer, PC gamers spend 92% of their time on older games. Well, if they're still playing the older games, maybe they're not buying the new ones. We need money. We understand that it can be disappointing for players, but when it does happen, the industry ensures that players are given fair notice of the prospective changes in compliance with local consumer protection laws. Translation: we only want to do the bare minimum that we are legally required to. Prospective changes equals shutting the game down. This isn't like, oh, the servers are going to go down for 48 hours on this date. No, this is your purchase is null and void. You can't do that. You know, look, we should really be thanking these corporations. I mean, think of how kind it is for them to let us know ahead of time that our purchase is going to be retroactively invalidated, and we have nothing to show for it. I love how there's no mention of, like, properly informing customers if and when their product will cease to function before they buy it. If we're buying a license and not a game, that needs to be made abundantly clear to everyone. You should have to click a box on the Steam page that says this game might be just fucking deleted and you won't have anything to show for it. But of course, they don't want to do that.
And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Private servers are not always a viable alternative option for players, as the protections we put in place to secure players' data, remove illegal content, and combat unsafe community content would not exist and would leave rights holders liable. Rights holders? Like who? If you're abandoning the game and it's turning into vaporware, then nobody really owns it. You're relinquishing your legal responsibilities to it. Am I wrong? Am I getting something mixed up in the translation? Isn't that how it would work? Clearly you don't care if there's an unsafe community if you're just willing to completely abandon it all. In addition, many titles are designed from the ground up to be online only. In effect, these proposals would curtail developer choice by making these games prohibitively expensive to create, as if they're not already. This is the problem with the video game industry. All these major corporations think, oh, well, every game, we're not going to invest in something unless we put like $100 million, $50 million into it and it becomes the next Fortnite. Games are prohibitively expensive to create because you have people in charge that don't know how to fuck to manage money. Concord burned through like 500 million. How? The Battlefront collection was like 60 gigabytes bigger than the 2 base games and had less content in it. Fix your damn game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna call it there. Rest assured, we have stopped killing games, but only momentarily. Should the need arise, should we need to rally the troops again, I have the utmost confidence in our ability to push this thing through to the finish line. Do not let the distractions of law-abiding software, man, distract you from what is really at stake. It's funny and entertaining, but keep your eye on a prize. There's much more important things at play. Once again, I want to offer all of you the once-in-a-lifetime chance to subscribe to Ross at Accursed Farms and follow this movement. I'm sure he's going to be better informed than anyone else on the subject. I'm just here to make you laugh and joke. I'm a dancing monkey. I am monkey. I think based on all the corporate responses, it's safe to assume that we are making waves. They are scared. It's afraid. So subscribe to Ross, because if Gondor calls for aid, Rohan will answer. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content. Alright, mateys. That be all I have for today. Now ye walk the plank. Alright everyone, that's all I got for today. This be the Yarhar Man signing out. Peace!